Yo, what's poppin'? This your boy EJ, aka Sir Evangeline Joseph, aka Mr. 10 Feet, aka The Bully, aka Big Jim Stepper.
And this your boy Wayne, Willmatic Beats. Hey, drop them air horns. It ain't even about us today. We got another.
Oh my God.
Another special guest in the building.
Man,
another legend.
Listen, I'm inspired. He's a big inspiration. His story is a big inspiration. He motivates the whole, like, I would say the Tri-City, but it's so much bigger than that.
It's bigger than that.
We got Mr. TMC, the MiND Clothing. Brandon Todd is in the building today. What's poppin'?
What's good?
Hey man, how you been?
Hey, I'm well, man. Hey, look, man. One thing I always tell people, I'm breathing, regardless of the situation I'm in. If I'm able to communicate to you,
right,
you good.
I'm good. Like, regardless of what happened this morning, I'm here. You know, I made it. So,
with that mindset, like, has that always been, or was it more so? I'm sorry.
Good.
Yeah. Was it
blame
more?
it on the store, man. We sprayed it out.
I'm sorry. Spit went down the wrong pipe. I'm sorry. But has that always been your mindset, like before, or after?
Surprisingly, this has always been my mindset. See, a lot of people who didn't know me prior to the accident, they think, hey, this accident happened to him, and he went through all this traumatic stuff, and now he's like this. But even before this situation, I was still positive mindset, grind mindset, happy internally first mindset. It wasn't like, oh, this accident humbled me to think more clear. Nah, it enhanced it, yes, but did it just start? Nah.
And we kicked off, like that. But normally, how we normally kick off the show is we ask, where are you from?
I am from LaGrange, Georgia, born and raised.
LaGrange. Look, for all the listeners out there and all the people who don't know, because I didn't meet you here.
Right. You met
know what
me
I'm saying?
in Columbus.
A lot of people met you in Columbus.
Correct.
What brought you to Columbus?
Well, what brought me to Columbus is school. I graduated I graduated high school in 2011, and so Columbus State was one of my choices because one of those individuals who was going to be in Columbus or Atlanta. I didn't want to be too far away, and I had a few friends, few cousins who had already went to Columbus State, and I'm just like, Columbus, it's not as big as Atlanta, but it's not as small as LaGrange, so it won't be horrible. And I went there and got my degree at Columbus State University, and shoot, I stayed there a couple of years after, and that's how I met you and a whole lot of other people. So
you was already like tapped into Columbus like prior to?
Yep, I was already tapped in because LaGrange Mall really isn't too much of anything, so most people go to Columbus or Atlanta to shop when it comes to traveling to shop.
Yeah, because like a lot of people, they'll sit back and cap and be like, Columbus. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never heard of Columbus.
Nah, don't downplay Columbus. Columbus slick is maybe the third, but I think it's the second largest city in Georgia, next to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's third.
So don't sleep on Columbus. I mean, it's the Tri-City, like you say, it's moving, and every time I think about a city, I think about surrounding areas, and there's a lot of surrounding places around. Now, this is like LaGrange. LaGrange is the bulk, but you have Hogansville, West Point. You got all these smaller cities around it that really makes the county and whatnot whole.
Right. When you think about the MiND Clothing, what is the motto for the MiND Clothing? And has it changed since the accident? No,
it's been the same. I more so got a little more wrapped into it's all in the mind, but my slogan is mind your vision. which means to me, because I know you all probably ask, so what does mind your vision mean to you? So, so mind your vision for me is more so like the mind is on the vision, not just the vision of focus, the vision of purpose, the vision of passion, and it all boils down and relate and correlates back to the mind. Like, if it's not in the mind, then where is it? But I've more so got a little more acclimated with it's all in the mind, because whatever the hell you do, it's all in the mind. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, for whatever you go through, it's gonna always boil back down to the mind. Whether if it's meditation, it's what I'm saying, you suffer from something traumatic, whether if it's the loss of a loved one or accident, whatever the case may be, is however you think, however you feel, your emotions, everything, it always starts from the inside out, and it starts with the mind. So
yeah, and like in order to, if you want change, you got to start from within.
Within,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like that's a big thing too, as far as being in the mind and being mental and stuff like that, because like a lot of people, they could have took your circumstances and been like really fucked up about it. You know what I'm saying? And been like, but
let me just stop you right there. I've spoken with so many individuals who said, "Hey man, if I was in your same boat, I wouldn't be floating the way you are."
Bro,
because they've told, man, I had somebody to tell me I probably would have sat in my room for years. I've even had people who are in this same situation who've told me, like, it took me X amount of years, or hey, thank you for coming to speak with me, because I've been in a terrible place for 10 years, like, and then when I tell people, oh yeah, I've been like this for a year and a half, they're like, really? So you mean to tell me you lost your leg? I made a joke before they amputated my leg. They said, "Hey, sir," all the doctors in the room, "Hey, we're gonna have to cut your leg off." Guess what I said?
What's up?
Can I keep it? But they were so firm. They were just like, "No," and I'm just like, "Relax." I'm bringing a sense of humor to the room, because it's a lot of people in the room at the time. 10, 15, this is pre-COVID, so it's 10, 15 people in the room, and these people are closely related people, mom, grandmothers, sisters and stuff. These people are gonna get tense up and thinking, hey, my life is about to change for the worse, but it changed for the better. So I wasn't tripping on a leg. Rather lose a leg than a life. Hey. You feel me? Right.
Big Jim. That's a big gem.
Hey, free gems, drop one in the ball.
For real, man, because, man, like I said, bro, earlier, man, you a big inspiration, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You a big inspiration. Not only, like, it just seems like from the outside looking in,
right?
You always been a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always been grinding, whether it was in the gym, whether it was, putting on for your fraternity, being out there in the being out there in the community, starting the mind. You always been a hustler. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's saying, like, once, instead of it slowing you down, nigga, you was like, you know what? I can't run now, but I can hop in this car.
Right. Look.
Elevated.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, and from the car, I can go to the Clearport, hop on this jet. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Mentally, and like really put your foot on the gas. Really, bro, you got your own storefront. You know what I'm saying? Like you really, most people would have been stagnant. You kept it going. And full, like, faster than you did a person with two legs.
Right.
Yeah. See, because one thing with me, and one thing people should, take into, account is that you can't let your current situation affect your future. Right. Or you can't say, hey, why would I say, hey, I can't run today, I can't run tomorrow, I can't run next year. Let me just, not adapt to what I can do. I can still use a stick and climb a mountain. I can still, skydive. I can still go skiing. Maybe not with, both of my hands on the ski sticks and my 2 legs but I can get up, sit down on a ski bike.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to adjust in situations. Stop complaining about it. Just adjust. Adjust to your circumstances, you know. Adapt.
Yeah, it's kind of like
adaptability.
In most cases you would say like a chameleon, but in this case I'm gonna say a brain, because like it takes the brain in order to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can go into your world, you can go into mine, but in order for you to adapt, you have to think. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know, because you've been a fly dude. I want to change up the conversation a little bit. You've been a fly dude for a long time.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you one of the first that I knew besides myself that, like, you owned a pair of Jeremy Scotts and gifted it to my brother Khalil.
Yeah.
But yeah, you owned a pair of Jeremy Scotts. I want to know, like, what got you into fashion, bro?
Well, I'm going to be honest. When I was young, man, and, in the video we may flash up a few pictures, my mom, like, used to keep me fly, Air Max, Reebok. All the the little kicks back in the day that we used to wear, the 90s ones. And, bro, they kept me fresh, man. And so as I continued to dress myself, I was like, you know what? I actually like this. So I was the dude in high school who was like, people was like, hey, bro, because that was back in the borrowing days. Hey, bro, let me borrow those shorts.
Yep.
Hey, bro, let me borrow that. I remember one girl came to me and said, I seen a guy with your outfit on at the movies. And the whole outfit. The whole outfit. And she said, I know it's yours because you the only one that had it. So I was always on some exclusive dressing differently, not caring what others thought. It really elevated, once I hit college, once I started, because I used to always do it with what I would call, urban wear, or just t-shirts and jerseys and all those type of things. But when I went to college, man, it was more so like, I'm about to do it now, but on a more so adult grown man level. So we're talking different kind of suit and ties with handkerchiefs and double strap monks and really dressing Oxfords, different kind of socks.
You really had that shit on.
Putting that shit on, colorways, patterns. I'm talking about put it on.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, man, my style for fashion became so like immaculate. I just couldn't even put it into words. The things I wore, I couldn't even explain it to the coming individual anymore. It had to be like either you got it or you was just on that type of level, or whatnot. But yeah, man, and how the brand came about is, I really got deep down into mentoring and helping and individuals elevate and all that stuff. So I'm like, man, I'm into fashion. I love to inspire, help people, elevate, go to new levels. I said, why not tie fashion into something positive, something, some positive reinforcement, something that's, have people thinking.
Right.
They got people talking about something that's relevant. And I thought about not relevant for the time, but you think about it, 150 years from now, the mind isn't going to disappear.
Nope.
Right.
Come on. Where is the mind going? Literally. Right. Where's the mind going?
Nowhere.
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
It's a timeless. Not only is it is a timeless collection design logo. It's gonna be a timeless brand. This is gonna be something in 3041. When we're not even here, the gems, the seeds, the things we've planted have just sprouted out. This Free Gym Network. It's gonna be on 1,000 radio stations, on 20 million different.
Thank you.
But
bro.
guess what? Y'all may not even see that, but you may see some of the growth. You may know that you planted that seed for it to sprout out like that. But you ain't gonna see everything. But that's what we doing. We doing timeless
things.
Right.
That's why. I'm sorry to cut you off. That's why we call ourselves a network. Like, we're not just a podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's how we
Right.
call
I just had to, cause I had to just touch it, bro. Cause I tell people I came up with the MiND clothing, MiND, whatever you want to call it, because it's not straight to the point. It's not positive MiND clothing. It's not focused MiND clothing. It's not think about it clothing. Like it's something to mind. It's so it can be positive, strong, global. It
all of it.
So I kind of created the headliner and just everything else is subcategories. And guess what? I put those subcategories into designs.
Right.
Positive MiND design, strong MiND design. But the brand is still the MiND. Like you see,
Right.
you feel me?
It's like a tree. You know what I'm
Right.
It's like right. Cause I see a lot of people, and no shade, starting brands like, I ain't heard of this one. I'm just gonna throw this one out because I haven't focused MiND clothing or something like that. It's like it's too
Specific.
It's narrow.
specific, right? It's narrow, right?
Yeah.
You don't give yourself a wider window to work with.
You really putting a timestamp on yourself.
Right.
Like you
It's
really.
only so far you can go. You put it. You gave yourself a ceiling.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You gave yourself a ceiling.
Right.
With your brand being timeless, as it is, and you spoke on yourself as you elevated in life, and you spoke on how you elevated your dress game. Do you see the same thing for the MiND clothing? Eventually going away from the urban style to eventually maybe elevating to a more sophisticated look?
Well, I already am working on some design. I'm actually releasing a Black History Month design that's a little more, and I'll show you guys not on camera, but after it's a more
Right.
It's a more sophisticated design. It's going to definitely look like, oh, is this $250 item, but it's because I'm into the inspiration thing just as much as I'm into the fashion part. So when I tie the two together, my mind is just running. I mean, running good because it's like a well-oiled machine.
Right.
And when I piece it together, it's beautiful. So to answer your question, technically yes. Now just because it's more sophisticated in terms of more casual looking or more not just your everyday t-shirt sort of thing, because we'll still create those kind of items.
Right.
That doesn't mean oh yeah, he created this shirt, we gonna pay $500. Nah, not for real. Nah. Now, one day down the line in the future, I would like to have a the MiND luxury collection, where I got thousands of items in a location, and one of the locations are in multiple locations or whatnot, but I release 15 pieces, 20 pieces.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
15 jackets, $350 a piece, sort of thing. But just in terms of my brand being a high fashion brand, I want it to be affordable for everyone, But if you work at, that fast food restaurant, or you work at,
They still have to
corporate
put that shit on.
office. Right. Exactly. Regardless.
Right.
Regardless.
You have a market, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like you're very familiar with who you target. Where did that stem from, and how did you tap into that? Because obviously, like, you have a storefront in your home city, but some people may be from, I'm just throwing it out there, Alaska, and they may know a lot of people in Alaska, but they have a store in Columbus. Like, what made you pick LaGrange?
I picked LaGrange. Actually, after having to talk with a few friends, they thought, like, hey, your store is probably going to be in Columbus. Because honestly, I started the brand in Columbus. I started the brand in Columbus, but the MiND was born in LaGrange. And I figured, what better place is there to put, your first store in your hometown? Because over the time, I've built up relationships with many people here.
Right.
I went to elementary school, daycare. Let's start. I went to daycare here,
Mm-hmm.
middle school. I mean, daycare, elementary, middle, and high school here. So it's like I still have friends who live here from middle school, high school. My family is from here. I say about mom and dad side, probably about 90% of the people live here.
Mm-hmm.
So what better place is there to start your brand where you know the possibility of you elevating and it spreading more is like it's
greater.
It's bound to happen.
Your roots are here.
It's bound to happen. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
These are, like you say, the roots are here.
Mm-hmm.
The roots are definitely here. Cousin come in and buy a shirt. Oh, I work with such and such. She want a shirt. Oh, the auntie. Oh, friend. Oh, strangers. Oh, Columbus come down. Noonan come down. Because I still have markets in other areas surrounding, but why not capture here? There's so many surrounding counties and cities that can come in to visit. And you still have online.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what's the biggest misconception of having a storefront?
Probably that people gonna always come in and out 24/7. That's not the case. Yesterday was Friday. For the first 2 hours, I had nobody in the store. Like, let's just be real. I'm not in it for. If I was in it, paper chasing, I would have been out of this. I'd have started this in 2017, 18, when I started.
Mm-hmm.
When I was getting shirts made for $10, selling them for $15. I'm making no profit. I was always in this for the passion, for the love, for the put more merchandise in people. I was in this for a totally different reason than what some people get in certain industries for, and that wasn't me. So with that being said, that's how I've lasted or outlasted, others. So, yeah.
Would you say the passion is what keeps you motivated?
Yeah. I have a design book. I have a design book that I tap into just about every other day.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm currently sending in mock-up designs. I just got in like 2 designs on yesterday. I'm constantly working because I'm planting something, because one day I won't be here. So I need to surround myself around people. I need to show other people, the way of the brand, to get them to understand the vision. You have to be deeply invested in this, because if you're not if you're not passionate about it, if you don't love it, and you thinking about funds, you thinking about paper instead of passion, you thinking about paper instead of purpose.
Ooh.
You thinking about paper instead of purpose.
Now what happens is you have a slow week or you have a slow month, and now you're discouraged. And you don't want to do it anymore. But I thought you loved designing. I thought you loved fashion. I thought you loved inspiring people. What about these things we thought that you loved?
The dream got lost.
Your dream got lost in the sauce.
You thought.
It wasn't really in the mind.
I was saying it wasn't in your mind. How hard is it to find people that's trustworthy, or to see your dream the way you see your dream?
Woo, man, it's when you've been around certain individuals for years, and even new individuals come along and understand what you have going on and can relate to the vision. It just has to be organic. It just has to be there.
Right.
But finding people to trust is definitely not an easy task, especially when you're talking about in terms of like I have an advisor. I have to trust my advisor with my finances. Like how the people see it who like, freaking big name celebrity got this advisor taking care of this money, or they lost this money. Like, I mean, it's not as wild as you think, but you really have to trust people's decision making. You have to trust, their intuition. You have to trust that they're just not out to get you, and it's not easy. But I am an individual who I trust you until you give me a reason not to. You got to cross me bad. bad, till I'm just like, oh nah,
Fuck them.
bye, be gone. You know. But so that's how I start off anyway. I'm gonna trust you until you give me a reason not to. But when it comes to like a lot of things dealing with the brand, I got a good handful of people who I know. If I just say tomorrow I'm moving to freaking
Nevada.
Alaska, somewhere. I'm moving to Europe to hibernate for a year. There's people who literally take over this brand and run it just like I run it. Like that's the type of people I surround myself.
So having a team, because people, I know, with me looking at you're doing the research and just knowing you, you would think that you're running this solely just by yourself.
It's not. When I get a design in, I may send that design to a few people to get edits and feedback. You may sit down, talk about this, that, and the third. Now, majority of the work is definitely me, but I don't do the photo shoots. I don't do the video shoots. Sometimes I don't even direct it. I just write it and let the cinematographer direct it in terms of positioning and camera angle, close up, all that good stuff. I have a say so, but even the model sometimes. Sometimes I will outsource that and have someone else to, like it's almost as if I'm delegating a task to someone.
Right.
To oversee the models and book the makeup artist for the photo shoots and be there when it's time for the photo shoot and make sure their food is ordered and all those great things. So if it was just me by myself, like, oh, let me like I said, I have an advisor. It's so many people in, an assistant, different places that you wouldn't even see because you may like, oh, boom, that's him. And me personally, I always speak in third person. I always say like, yeah, people come in here and I'm in here working. If I'm in here, like, hey, so when are y'all gonna? Yeah, it's not I. It's never been I. It's bigger than I. So
Yeah,
it's a we thing.
Bruh, this gonna take, bruh. This is just like I said, man. Just sitting here, it's like this is major.
Walking in, it was like
an experience. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why and let me just tap in on this. Hold that thought. Hold it really tight. Let me tap in on this. When people ask, so why'd you create a store? We're in a society where online is booming. People aren't opening stores; they're opening warehouses and all those great. And I'm like, well, that's cool for them. But for the MiND clothing, we wanted to create the MiND experience. So not only do you come in and you shop, but you get an experience. Like I tell you, hey, I dress people sometimes in here. Like this is gonna go with that because this color, this blue is gonna blend with that blue, and it's gonna be vertical. Like, I'm getting experience. You read the walls and you read the motivation from the inspiration from the pictures, and I have a bookshelf that says MiND, with books about the mind. One time a guy came in here, purchased a shirt, sat back there, read a chapter in a book, and he was moved.
Man, come on.
He was moved. He was so moved, not by the brand, by the book. But guess what he did? He purchased another shirt. I didn't tell him to, but he just felt like he had an attachment to the book and to the experience that he had in the store, that he felt like everything just was so right. Let me get another shirt. Why did I get one?
Could you imagine, like, just a customer? I don't know if you call, like, I know some brands call them customers, some call them clients or
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but somebody comes in here and they feel so attached.
Right.
They sit their ass down and read a chapter of a book. I don't know how long the chapter is.
Right.
But it's
just
still,
the fact that they felt comfortable enough to sit down.
Right.
In your store.
And be a part of your store. Like they became a part of your environment for that moment. That's big.
That's huge.
That's big. Because I know me, I come inside.
This is so dope. Somebody just walked up.
Yeah. And it's 10:28. 11 o'clock. We open at 11. It's 10. I can't really. She'll probably come back. Yeah.
Like this, I feel like, to be honest, bro, I feel like just this. First off, this episode, and I'm getting off topic. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the experience, bro. The excitement in me. I feel like this episode has taken us, because we was already at a high level in my mind.
Right.
But from this, like, to here, you know what I'm saying? Just conversating with you, hearing you speak. But getting back on a question, who was one of your mentors?
Right.
Doing, in the beginning of the MiND, and even now?
I would say not necessarily in the beginning of the MiND stages, but more so in the beginning of my transition stage, of my development stage. In colleges, I had a few great mentors. One of the guy's name is Jay. This guy named Jay, his name is actually, I think it's Jasper Armistead or something like that. But Jay, man, Jay probably is a year older, 2 years older than me. When I got to college, man, we used to meet up and he used to tell me these different things about, hey, man, everything you think about, write it down. Hey, what you think? Like, he just really dropped gems on me. Like, I can't make this up. So many things I still pass on to others. And that's why knowledge is so important, because once you get it from others, you give it to others and they give it to others, and that's how it's like nourishment. Like, you just feeding them. So yeah, man, he was one of, like, within that 2011-12 stage, 13. He was definitely there. And then of course along the way I had other mentors as well who really, showed me the way and always talked to me and gave me good advice and good, helpful information.
How did you come up with your signature logo, the one you have on your chest right now?
The one I have on my chest right now. Actually, the very first shirt was this right here. These what I call the original tees.
Show it on the camera.
These are the original tees. So basically, the original tees are, they say focused mind or strong mind, global mind. Actually, if you look right behind you, those are two of the first. Those are two of the first shirts that I ever created.
Okay.
That's when I wasn't even getting the logo embroidered. It was getting heat. It was a patch. It was getting heat pressed on, and so those are the original tees. And the reason how I created the original tees because I always wanted to. I wanted the logo to, you to know what the logo means, but that strong mind with that period at the end kind of solidifies that, hey, this mind is strong. And so how I came up with this signature logo is, because this is nothing more than a design, but it's a design that has now made the face of the brand, and it's made the face so beautiful to the point where this design is now a staple.
Right.
It's now a design that I will carry year round.
Yeah. It's very recognizable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, how I was doing it, when I first started, I wanted the MiND, like MIND. I wanted the I to be the same side. Well, not the same side. I wanted it to be longer, like equivalent to the, the N and the N. Right. And then I wanted the logo to be above it. But then as I started to think, I started talking to, people and then my vendors and stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? What if we downsize the I and put the logo in between that? How would that work out?
Right.
And to my surprise, once I got the first batch in, I'm like, this is beautiful. I said, this is about to be amazing. I released this design in 2019 November in Columbus. I released this design in Columbus. Before I even put it on the website or anything, I took it to the Fountain City Classic. Released this design, had 2 boxes. Sold out within about an hour.
Jesus.
At the Fountain City Classic in 2019.
And you was a vendor?
I was a vendor. No, I wasn't even a vendor.
You just pulled up.
I just pulled up and popped open a table and threw them on there. Gone.
Out of there.
That's when they did the Black Alumni tent. And I went to that Black Alumni tent They had an extra table where they cleared the table for me, and I put those shirts on there with the 2 boxes. I can show you the video right now. 2019, 2 boxes gone so fast. I said, wow. So I ordered more because I said this is about to be a staple design. I ordered more, sold out. They didn't make the website for like a month and a half. I had to start doing pre-orders. Got hundreds and hundreds of pre-orders. Pre-order came in, order extra, boom, sold out. Sold out, sold out. I was like, shoot, what I'm gonna do now? It keeps selling out. And we're going into a new season. I said, put it on a t-shirt. Don't put it on a crew neck, put it on a t-shirt.
T-shirt.
T-shirt came in. Sell out, sell out, sell out, sell out, sell. And it's kind of been an ongoing thing now.
Yeah, man.
And that's a design. This is a design like
it works.
You know, I keep putting it out there. You know, I push it because I say, I'm sure thousands and thousands of people got it, but I need millions and billions to have it. Yeah. You know, that will have it. That will have it. So we're gonna keep pushing it. I'm gonna keep it stocked. And actually, it's so funny. I'm running a sale, Black History Month, the whole next month, 28 days, blowout sale, all the winter stuff. Guess what's not going on sale?
Them.
Everything but this.
And that's probably gonna still be the.
And it's still gonna be one of the ones that people come in here and purchase.
That's your most successful design?
Yeah, thus far. Thus far.
That's hard, man.
You got to put that thus far on there because there's some, you know, I've had some designs based around this. Like I released a Valentine's Day design last February, and a lot of people been expecting me to release that again, but I got a Black History Month design. However, that Valentine's Day design sold out within like the first few hours. Yeah.
My boy a hot commodity.
I didn't even have a store. It sold out online.
So do you get more business online than you do in the store?
Well, I would say it depends. Sometimes I'll make a release and I'll have more business online than in the store. But the reason why the in-store does so well because you have LaGrange, you got Harris County, you got Heard County, you got Columbus, Muskogee County. You got people who come here for Noonan, Atlanta. So a lot of people come here to get the experience to kind of to be in the vicinity, to be in the space, the thinking space, and
right.
And so they come in. So instead of ordering online, they pop in and grab a bag or two. So and the store has been very successful for that reason. Now, I am continuing and looking forward to growing the online market more because every day I'm starting to see orders come in from different, states and stuff. So I know that it's growing. It's a journey, man. It's step at a time, man. I don't expect, tomorrow to have 50,000 orders in, Chicago, or it's going to gradually grow and get there. And then once you finally and we'll look back man, remember a few years ago we was on Free Gems and we was talking about this, and now look at you.
Where's the furthest place that you sold?
It was another country. I want to say it was it? I can't even think of where it was. That's so
but it was
bad.
Overseas though.
Yeah, it was overseas. I've had a few overseas shipment.
That's hard, man.
That's
touched.
super hard.
And so and I've had people to actually, I don't know if people have looked at clothing stores and stuff, but I've had people like one lady, older white lady, she was coming here for a funeral, and she said that she does sewing, and she came here and purchased some things, and she was like from Virginia or somewhere. I've had people come in from California, and either these people come here to see family, or I don't know what the case may be, but however they if they're here and they come in here and they purchase something, then I like that, and because they're taking something back to another area, and you never know who they know or what they know, and so I'm thankful for
that exposure is real.
The word.
The growth is exponential.
Right.
You're a very positive person. You know what I'm saying? Like, point blank, period. But you're not perfect. We all are.
Far from it.
Was there Can you think of a time when there was a moment that you was about to quit, and when you was about to quit and you didn't quit, something big happened for you?
I can honestly say I ain't ever thought about. Are we talking about quitting with the brand or just quitting in general?
I wanna go with the brand, cause that's you.
I ain't ever thought about quitting it. I did think about rebranding and slowing it down. But at the time I was rebranding and picking up brand ambassadors and saying, hey, we need to do this differently. I was focused on, I need to be doing something that, can generate a little revenue while I work on this, because I'm selling, but I'm not selling out. I'm not selling like that. And once I in my rebranding stages, a process, that's when my accident happened. Mm-hmm. And so the accident really, like I said, it put the icing on the cake. Like I told myself, I'm about to open a store. I'm about to get serious about these designs, and I'm really about to, make things happen. And I didn't look back. But taking breaks, yeah, but just absolutely letting it go, because I always wanted to grow the brand slowly. I just read something about the weekend manager
Cash.
yesterday. No, the weekend.
Yeah, his name is Cash.
Oh,
the weekend's manager's name is Cash.
Okay, got you. He said they turned down a $160,000 show. He said they did that because they didn't want to go from step 1 to step 5. He said that we was packing out venues with 500 people and 2,000 people waiting outside.
Jesus.
So you got to think they didn't take them $160,000 a few times, because they probably end up signing something way greater than that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's just like me, if I'm buying X amount of shirts and I'm selling out, and it's like, oh, I'm not restocking those, and I got X amount of more people want it, got to continue to grow. I'm just taking things a step at a time. So
you talked about your accident kind of lighting a fire under you. Mm-hmm. You saying going harder than ever, and physical and mental health is a big deal.
And we stress that in here.
Right.
We stress that in the mind. We don't stress it. I'm sorry. We don't stress it. We rest that in the mind.
Right.
Let me just use that term.
Right. How often are people coming in your store and sharing their story with you on how your brand has helped them?
A lot of times. It's some people who will call the store just to say, hey, I came in the store, you wasn't there, but can I speak with, the owner, Brandon? And I talked to them. Lady called me from South Carolina, said, hey, I've been following you and seeing what you have going on. We just admire your story. People have came in, like kids had mental health issues. Like I'm talking about, it's in counselors come in here, mental health therapy. Like it's insane.
Right. And
you'd be amazed at how many conversations are had in the mind, about the mind.
Right.
So hard. Would you ever I don't want to say sign, but like partner with like a Macy's
like
or
an LVM? You want to say, hey, we want.
Yeah, like if
We want to put the mind under, like, we want to put them under here with Louis and Gucci. Put them under the same fashion house. Would you do something like that?
I'm always open to new ideas. First thing first. Anytime somebody come to me with something, I'm not ever just shutting it down. I may not I may not act on it right away. I may need some time to think about it and, review things and then make a decision. But every day I'm constantly making a new decision. Mm-hmm. And so I'm open to pretty much whatever that's within the values and, everything of the mind, because sometimes people, I'm gonna be real. Let's be real right now. I've been being real.
Yeah, bro.
But let me just say something. There are people who come in this store and say, hey man, you need a shirt that say money on my mind. It's not about that. It's not about that.
Bro, why do people do that?
People think that they can come in here and give my brand, take creative control over my brand. My brand I'm not about to be putting out something that says money on my mind. That's not our aim. So what I'm saying, it has to be within the mind, vision and mission statement. Can't go outside of that. Won't go outside of that.
Absolutely.
So that's just. But you gonna have people who try.
I wanna take this conversation to a different place for just for a little bit.
Okay.
Shout out first and foremost. Shout out to Jameer. But I want to know how did y'all link, and how did you end up being one of the cast members of Just Jameer?
Well, me and Jameer linked because number one, we met at Columbus State, and I've always been into acting. So I started acting in high school. I moved to Texas for a year. I did acting there. So I've been into this whole acting, being a character sort of thing. And when I got to college, I got into writing little scripts and short films and soon episodes and stuff. And so Jameer, she knew that, because when me and Jameer became friends in college, she knew that I used to write, like, I'd be like, Jameer, what you think about this little script? And she'd be like, oh, that's cool. And then I, eventually kind of find out, like, she's interested in, acting, hosting stuff, this whole entertainment lifestyle. And I'm like, what it do? Like, let me make some shake. And she came to me one day, first person, I can't make this up. I was the first person Jameer called and said, hey, I got this idea about this show. This is what I want to do. After that, me and Jameer started writing on the show. We started looking for others to, recruit, having meetings, and we put her vision to life.
That's hard, man.
Yeah,
that's hard. And you even repping the brand on the show.
On the show, correct. Yep.
That's dope, man. That's real dope.
Is there any plans on expanding the MiND in that realm?
In the realm of
like television.
Yeah. Well, I actually, the power of people and the power of connection is so real, man, and especially when it's genuine. Because I had a young lady who lives in Atlanta. She's from California.
Right.
She came in the store, made a purchase. We connected. Her friend is a wardrobe stylist or a wardrobe coordinator, and I actually sent merchandise out to. It was supposed to be on the network. I sent a box of merchandise out to California for them. They were filming a show. However, they weren't able to use the merchandise because they had only a certain time gap. That, like, for example, they were shooting the show 3 days, and my merchandise arrived late.
Damn.
So it's just even opportunities like that. But now I have that contact, and now she may be like, "Hey, we're about to work on this new. What kind of designs you got, or what do you have in stock, or do you have anything would you like to make exclusively for?" So it's still open. Although they didn't receive the merchandise on time and was able to put it on, they still opened a window.
Right.
They opened a door. So I'm still thankful for that and still have that connect. So yes, I plan to put my merchandise in shows or whatever. Yeah, in movies, all that good stuff. Sure, for sure.
One thing that I've noticed
at a very low rate, if you're listening.
I don't think they heard you. One more time.
At a very low rate, if you're listening.
One thing that I've noticed that's different from you, like different from a lot of brands, right, is that you are the face of your brand. What was the thought process? Because a lot of people do like collections and seasons, and like Dior with Christian Combs. They said, okay, you're the face of the brand at this point. What was the thought process with you saying to yourself, like, okay, I'm gonna be the face?
That thought process for me was like, okay, I am the brand for one. As I'm carrying the brand, I know how to carry it, and you don't really have to put that, what they would consider pressure, on anyone else. And I've always been into, like I mentioned, acting, photo shoots. Some people say I'm photogenic. I guess I am. You know, so
bro, you be putting that shit on.
So I'm really into it. So and then especially after the accident, you know, showing a way to, you know, basically diversity, inclusion. So I'm like, who better is there to be the face of the brand? You know, and I've already had to talk with myself and the people around me saying, hey, I got to start putting others out there so they can eventually become the face. Now, when I say I will probably still remain the face, as I mentioned, subcategories. So it's like, oh yeah, we saying her a lot. Oh, we saying him a lot. Oh, okay. We get it now. We know that, you know, just like when you go to a website, Forever 21, whatever it may be, you see, oh, you keep saying these same. Okay, we know that they. Eventually, I want to get to that point, and eventually get to the point where it's like, oh, J. Cole is the face of the MiND this time around. You know, for this year or for this collection.
Speaking that into existence.
Yeah, for real, because J. Cole is like my favorite artist, rap artist.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me just throw that out there.
Okay, well, speaking of music, how big is music an inspiration? And when you're creating designs, or even when you're running a store, how big is music an inspiration to you?
Man, music has a lot to do with people's shopping style. I've tested it. I'll have it quiet in here, and people may come in here and look around, and sometimes they'll leave or pick up an item if they really want it. But then sometimes you have people who, you know, come in here, if it's quiet, they kind of looking. But you cut on music, and it's like you're in that moment. You hear, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes. Yeah. I'm with this shirt. I want to celebrate and live my life. Yeah. And that get to the counter like 175. What I done, you know? Yeah. So music plays an important part, like for the shopping experience, but also as for me in my creative process, I listen to different things. Sometimes I'll listen to some cafe type of music, like coffee shop type of music, and just vibe out to that. It really depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll put on a Maroon 5 Pandora station and I'll just vibe out. Sometimes I'll listen to nature, the waters, the rain, the thunder. It just depends on that mood, or you know what kind of design I'm creating too. So that matters for me too. It's a whole process now. And once I tap, and sometimes it's pure quiet. I just need to tap completely in.
You spoke on the process. I want to know, like, what's the process of like the when you created the color block scheme, like the ones over there?
Oh, well, behind that, I think like for the bottom one, the blue and white and yellow gold looking one, I just thought about high school. Those are very, very similar to my high school colors. And so I just thought about high school simply. The other color wave, I thought about cotton candy, you know. And I was like, that'd be nice to put on a, you know. It's just different thoughts that come to mind when I think about colors. Because a lot of people always ask, so how'd you come up with this color? So how'd you come up? Because sometimes, you know, I'm not releasing that color block in 50 different colors or 20 different colors. I only release 3 different colors. So if I think about all these colors and then I have to narrow it down, now I get inspiration from all kind of stuff. I do random stuff. I may walk down the street and ask somebody what's their favorite color. Now I may ask the next person what their favorite color, and I'll be like, them 2 colors will go together. It's just certain things. I may look at the wall, the bricks, and say, hey, this made me think about, you know, hardcore. This made me, I'm moved by so much, man. Like, y'all just people don't understand the way my mind works and how others should get theirs to work when it comes to the creative process. It's insane. But I've heard other creators talk about how, you know, they come up with things too. And it's interesting. So,
do you feed off other creators?
Yeah, I do. I actually was just my cousin makes clothing, and I just bought something from him last night, and we was talking because, you know, I went to purchase something from him, but we started talking, and I was inspired by a design he had made, and I'm just like, you know, this is cool. This really makes me think of this and that, and I liked it. So it just started a whole conversation, and it made me think about a design I was working on, and I kind of wanted to go back and revamp my design. Like, okay, but I was like, nah, my design, I ain't doing that because this already, you know. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. When it comes to that process, sometimes you see things and you're around things, and it makes you think like, man, let me do this, let me try this. Long as it's still in the brand's, vision, then it's all good.
If you could talk to your younger self, or even, I like to always use this example. If my child was to come in here and he was so inspired and that he wanted to start his own clothing line, or she wanted to start her own clothing, because I got both. Shout out to Jack and Pay. But what's the advice that you would give them?
Well,
that nobody told you.
The advice I would give them is because you're saying this, but it's been people who've come in here multiple times who's like, hey, so my daughter want to start a club, my son want to, or it'd be a guy 17 come here, hey, I want to start this. I first ask them, what are you in it for? Then once I ask them what they're in it for, I would tell them what it consists of, what's involved in the process. Plenty of research, sleepless nights, handling a lot of things that you probably thought you wouldn't be handling, or watching videos or doing research on stuff that you didn't think you'd be tapping into, such as the difference between a trademark and a trademark and I can't even think of the other names, but it's a different, or the difference between an LLC and a sole proprietorship, or a single LLC or corporation, and it's, you'll be looking into stuff and asking questions to other people who are in that profession that you didn't think you'd be doing. You'll be tapping into a lot of stuff. So I asked a few questions like, how bad do you want it? What kind of market do you want to be in? Do you want to be urban streetwear? Do you want to be collar shirt based, suit and tie? Like what know your direction? Because sometimes you just like, I want to do fashion. If I just said I want to do fashion, and then I just jumped into it, and then 1,000 people around me are doing fashion, guess I'm going to start doing every single thing that one of those thousands of people are doing, because I don't have my own vision. So you have to create and know your vision behind what it is you want to do. So when it comes to questions I had to ask them, it can get very extensive.
Yeah.
But I just would tell my younger self, no matter, what it is that you want to do, you can do it if you put your mind to it.
Woo! The mind.
Had to just drop that one right there.
Yeah.
Man, it's been fun, man.
It was real fun.
Y'all.
I told you.
So how long y'all been doing this? Like a year or so?
Wow. Thank you.
Nah, it been a few months though, right?
October.
Since October.
Okay, that's straight. Y'all are in there. Y'all moving.
Hey man, I'm trying to, man. We got people like you.
Couple months. Yeah.
So how often do y'all plan to travel around and kind of interview people?
Whenever we all have different lives, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So like, for an example, I'm married. I got 2 kids. He got an old lady. He got multiple businesses that he's running. Mm-hmm. He got multiple businesses that he's running. Mm-hmm. So it's just whenever we find, like, we all we record every Thursday. Mm-hmm. But as far as like traveling,
we record multiple weekdays. It ain't even Thursday no more.
Well, that's the basis.
Just recorded on a Tuesday.
That's true. But nah, traveling and stuff. Whenever we free.
Yeah, whenever we can.
Whenever we can on the weekend. That none of us working.
Well, I know this is probably not concluding yet, but I do appreciate y'all for coming through and coming to the spot, the MiND, in LaGrange, man, my hometown. I know it may mean a lot for y'all, but it means a lot for me too, because, you all can definitely take this back. This is a network, so it's going to be heard worldwide, but however, you can also take this back to your local community, the Tri-City areas. I mean, that's I call Columbus my second home, So, you know, I'm thankful for, you know, you guys, you know, tuning in, you know, and I'm able to take some good gems back to the Koga.
Hey, for real, man. For real, man. We appreciate you.
Most definitely.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's almost that time for the mind to open.
Right.
No. The mind is always open. But hold on. I got one more. It's not open right now. It's just resting. Because we don't close it.
You better let them know.
But we're about to open it from that rest, though.
It's about to wake up. It's about to wake up.
Right.
But how we always end the show, and I don't know if you tapped in or whatever, but first off, thank you.
Yeah,
Anytime.
most definitely.
Thank you, bro, because this does mean a lot to us.
Mm-hmm.
You're an icon, bro. You're a legend.
Mm-hmm.
We say that, and we just want to give you your flowers, bro. We want to be,
and we mean that.
Yeah, like wholeheartedly.
This ain't just we saying it because we have a show. No, we saying it because we mean it.
Right.
Absolutely. Y'all come to LaGrange and shop at the MiND Clothing.
You can shop online, but you need to come to the store.
Yeah.
It's a must. If you in the area,
store.
it's a must that you've got to come because this is an experience.
Right.
You're not gonna get nothing like it's different, man.
Right.
I've been into a lot of stores. I'm 26, but it's nothing that's top tier.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I said earlier, how we normally end the show is we like to ask, what is your top 5? Being that we're in the MiND Clothing, I want to know, what's your top 5 pieces of yours?
Okay.
Top 5 pieces. I would definitely have to say the piece that I have on.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my one of the pieces that I would say is this. Why am I looking around? I guess because
we should have Bogo grab them.
Yeah. The folks need to see this.
The Windbreaker.
Okay.
The Windbreaker 2-piece. Okay, so he's just gonna get clips.
I gotta be
What
fine.
else?
Bo's
That's
the man.
2. What other design?
We gotta shop a little.
Am I? It may be some stuff that. I honestly, the youth jacket right here. The youth jacket. He got the buttons that says the MiND on them. So that we'll mark that at 3.
The jean one.
The
Oh
jean.
yeah, that is hard.
Yeah, once you see the back and all that, it's very moving and inspirational for the toddlers and the youth. Like takes their mindset to another level. So that's 3. My 4th one, and these are no particular order, but I would say I'm very proud of that Black History Month design.
Okay.
I'm even more proud of their equivalent, but the photo shoot was epic. I haven't dropped the photos yet because, of course, I haven't dropped the design yet. But that's for the 5th thing. We're gonna leave the 5th thing at anonymous or unreleased because I am releasing a spring design. That's gonna be
Nuts.
Okay.
They're gonna be crazy.
I had to put two on there that ain't been seen before, but
Okay.
Cause I mean I got some nice stuff, but man I'm into fashion, I'm into designs, and I'm into materials and all that stuff. And sometimes, like the black jean jackets I released in adults, I had the sample last summer, and I just released the jacket like 2 weeks ago. So
Timeless, bro.
it's just like, man, I don't get tired of the design. But I'm just like, I've had the sample and been seeing it for so long. I'm just ready to release it and for the public to see it, to the point where by the time I release, I'm like, well, I could have been made this change.
Right.
But yeah, hey, there's some good stuff happening this year, man.
Hey, 2021 gonna be big for everybody.
Going all the way up.
There's some good stuff happening this year. Mark my words, man.
Real shit.
Mark my words, for real.
Well, thank you again.
Right.
Thank you, fellas.
This has been a beautiful experience, beautiful episode.
For sure.
I
I know we say it a lot, but talk to you.
Top 10 favorite episodes. Real shit. Look, when this drop, this probably gonna take the cake. But this concludes another great episode of Free Gems Network.
Free Gems Network.